so we're gonna walk around the base. This time it's not gonna be a cinematic dolly around. I'm gonna actually like try to talk about a few things here. So you can see we have a drop area. We got the kits. Now it's a duo base, so there's two sides here. After that, we have electrical furnaces. These are automated. It's gonna take the loot out of these drop boxes here, and it's gonna put the loot deeper into the base, and then it's gonna go take any minerals, and it's gonna automatically smelt them for you and put them back into the boxes that are inside this core area on the second floor here. And so we got a turret covering the hallway. They're taking the door path, then you buy a little bit of time. And so there's the center core on the second floor. And so here, after the long door path, you're met with a stair bunker. And after the stair bunker here, you can see we got more areas to put loot. And then now we're like really into the core here. So here's the stair bunker. I'll kind of show you guys how that works. So it's just armored triangular stairs sitting on top of twig that's inside this triangle wall. And you can see the TC's also behind a vending machine. So it's pretty expensive to get into that core and get everything. But moving on, you can see here is the second floor. And so these are the bedrooms and another area to maybe put kits. You get some peaks up here, and moving on to the next floor, there's more kits, more peaks. You get a pretty good vertical angle here, but it's not the greatest, but it's good. And so you can see there's also roof retakes. And yeah, and now we're all the way up. We're on the 5th floor here. And you got kits up here. You gotta make sure you put a lock on these boxes here. They're just all exposed. It's just a turret covering the 2 beds, and you got a turbine up here. Now this is like a fast way down. Maybe you only have your roof beds. There is a way to flank around if they do door raid you. And maybe the raiders get control of the airlock here. You can see there's a little area here to peek down. And maybe if you wanted the airlock to be a little bit safer, you could actually put a trap here. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it. This is a quick and dirty tour. So I'll show you guys how to build it. So it's a pretty standard start. I guess the weird part would be the 2 sheet doors, but I mean, they don't have to be sheet like right out of the gate. They could be wooden. And I guess one thing I forgot here is the small box. So you'd have to put your loot somewhere. You're gonna expand outside of this tiny little start. You only need about 3 stone nodes, 3 trees, and you'd have enough to build the starter. And so yeah, here I'm just re-demonstrating again the bunker. It's this twig right here on the inside that it sits on. In the beginning, you're probably not going to have a furnace or anything, so you can actually just twig off of the 2 half walls that are in there. And I guess another thing to note here with the second floor, you don't necessarily have to build the floor out first. You'll see in the next phase here, I actually go to build the honeycomb. And yeah, I mean, you could probably do each of these phases, like, you could interchange them. They don't necessarily, everything is not perfectly in order. And I mean, a lot of it could be left up to you guys too, so. But one thing to note with the honeycomb out here is there'll be parts of the honeycomb that you can't upgrade once you seal everything in. it could be good to know exactly what part, like which walls that is, but just to be safe, if you ever are sealing a wall in, just upgrade it to metal. That goes for foundations as well. Now you don't have to worry about the floors or the ceilings, I guess. In there I was just showing where the TC is, so I mean, again, that wall's not important to upgrade right away. You'll be able to upgrade it from the inside. If you want the base to withstand 40 rockets from the two opposing sides away from the TC, you're gonna need to make sure you upgrade those inner parts of the honeycomb. And so, like I said, a lot of this stuff could be interchangeable. You don't necessarily have to get the honeycomb on before this part. Maybe you do want the airlock before the honeycomb. And so, I mean, that again, that's up to you guys. But you can see here how it can all be built from standing in this one spot. And I mean, these doors don't necessarily have to go in. You're gonna need a tier 2 to get the lockers. And yeah, you just put more furnaces here. You might want more than 3 furnaces, so again, you could just put a lot of those furnaces in the hallway. And so finally, we are on the bedroom floor here. It can be tricky to build these triangles sometimes. I don't know, maybe I'm just bad. Bad at building. I know some people are really fast at building. And I mean, kind of got the training wheels on because, I mean, this is B grade. If you do play modded servers, yeah, I mean, the speed at which you see me building could be done in a modded server at probably the same speed. Yeah, so I mean, these boxes here, I mean, you could probably hide loot, but mainly you want to put kits, utility and stuff like that. You know, like, you're gonna get raided, you're gonna be reaching into those boxes. I don't know, whenever you get raided, it's not, you never really want to spawn in the core. So to maybe force yourself to not spawn in the core to get loot, maybe just make sure you got loot upstairs. Yeah, you just want to spam a bunch of garage doors, and you can actually put some traps up here underneath these triangles. You could also put a repair bench if you needed a repair bench. We're finally on the 4th floor. This is like the main shooting floor area. I mean, you're pretty high up in the air. I guess you'd say this is like the roof camping floor. And so yeah, you're gonna need a bunch of half walls, it's a bunch of windows, and I guess the unique thing about this floor is the lockers that are inside these like triangle ramps. Roof tiles, I guess I should say. I mean, you're gonna want to lock these. You're gonna notice in the video, there's not many, I mean, I'm not locking anything up. Everything should be locked up. You want the raider to suffer. You're gonna want to lock all your boxes. Everything gets locked. And yeah, so here's where the battery goes. This is like super simple electrical setup that I feel like anybody could do. Splitter into splitters. And it's kind of cool now, actually. The splitters don't have a resistance anymore. You're not losing 1 rust watt anymore when you use a splitter, so kind of cool, you know? Okay, so yeah, it's just more traps, and yeah, we're on the roof finally. Yeah, just more windows and more half walls. And triangle roofs here just to have something up here. Make the roof look a little bit nicer. Regular roof, square roof here. So you're gonna put a turret in there. And here is where the turbine sits on. You frame up and the turbine goes up there. And so you get your beds. Maybe you just got like deleted out there. You'd be able to spawn up here real quick, grab a bolty or something, and maybe a roof camp, get some roof camp revenge and get your loot back. But yeah, just one turret. I only put one turret up here because I'm trying to keep things simple, and I know in vanilla it can be rather difficult to even get turrets to begin with, especially as like a duo. I don't know, it'd be hard to get laptops and cameras. You want to put turrets in the areas where the raiders can be charging down. You'd be kicking your doors down, running down your hallways. And who knows, maybe your duo or trio. I mean, you could put 4 people in this. It's not necessarily strictly a duo base. You could probably fit, hell, you could probably fit like 5 people in this base. It's pretty big. But yeah, you never know. Teammates leave all the doors open. You'll be happy that you had a turret there. So again, like I said, not everything is in perfect order. You probably would have wanted to get one of these doors on a lot earlier than I did in the video. And yeah, so everything on the second floor should turn into metal. And I mean like the frames and everything. Everything goes to metal. And so the first floor, you're going to want to put everything into high qual. And I mean, that could include the frames, especially if you're going to get armored doors. You're going to want an armored frame. And yeah, so again, like I was saying, not everything's in perfect order. Depending on how much loot is flying into the base, you're probably going to want more boxes. And I don't know why I didn't put this in the beginning. Everything's like, I mean, you guys gotta cut me some slack. This is like my first real like base building video where I'm like really trying to like set everything up. But yeah, the next one will be better, I promise. Perfect order. I feel like that is important, especially for someone that might be following this for a wipe and just like slowly watch the video as they progress in the wipe. You probably would want to practice this, but maybe I made it good enough you don't need to practice. But yeah, so here we go, finally setting up the auto smelter. And again, this could be set up a lot earlier than I did. The auto smelter, you could probably do without this. Like if you're not too big on electrical and the industry, and you're okay with just firing the minerals in there, like manually, then yeah, you could probably just skip this part. I feel like every base should have some sort of smelter, and not even just a smelter, but something that is grabbing the loot out of the drop boxes. I feel like that is very important, especially with an airlock that is not so secure. I mean, it is, but it isn't, because I mean, if they kill you at that front door open, then they're going to go after those drop boxes. But I mean, these drop boxes that are above your head when you come through the front door, they should actually be locked. And so, I mean, that would give you enough time to spawn and take the guy out. And so, I mean, yeah, you kind of do need the conveyor grabbing everything, because then, you know, he's chiseling away on the box and there's like nothing inside of it. So, and yeah, you're gonna set up a turbine. Make sure the battery's down and you have the netting there, and then make sure you got the build to build those 2 triangle floors, and that way you can climb right up there, put the turbine down, and then immediately plug into it without having to go back and get a build plan or whatever. Because once you put that turbine down, you're going to need a ladder to get back up there. I'm sure anybody that has set up a turbine, they know what I'm talking about. But yeah, since the recent electrical update, it's actually really nice. You don't lose the wire when you like click out of it. And here too, you can see if that jump is hard to do, you could put a ladder. And there you go. So that's basically it. So now we're going to go into Fortify and we're going to raid it.